Hello and welcome to another Dragon Ball FighterZ video. Today, TGN Anime presents a character profile for Android 16. Kill Goku. They used to be the defining traits of Android 16, but now we know he is so much more. A lover of nature, a good guy really deep down, and in Dragon Ball FighterZ is all about giving everyone some free hugs. His first special attack is the Dynamite Driver with quarter circle forward and an attack button. The light attack version must be done from very close range, as 16 grabs the opponent right in front of him and slams him into the ground. The medium attack version lunges forward before grabbing the opponent, and then instead of slamming him into the ground, 16 throws the opponent for a wall bounce, making it easier to follow up with other moves. The EX version does virtually the same as the medium attack version, but with slightly increased range. His second special is very similar to the Dynamite Driver, but executed in the air. It also has a different name, despite the effect being so similar. It's called the Flying Slide Powerbomb. Even the button inputs are the same as the Dynamite Driver, but it has to be done in the air. The light attack version just attempts to grab the opponent right in front of you. The medium attack version lunges forward before grabbing the opponent, and the EX version with a heavy attack button has the same range and effect as the medium attack, but happens a lot faster. Unlike the Dynamite Driver, all three versions of this move end in the same way, so you can follow all of them up with a super attack if you so desire. His third ability is yet another power bomb. Quarter circle backwards and an attack button unleashes the Flying Power Bomb. This is Android 16 anti-air measure. Android 16 always jumps at an angle, but the higher the attack button, the further he can reach, with the light attack button being almost fully vertical and the heavy attack button covering half the screen. The Flying Power Bomb ends just like the Flying Slide Power Bomb, meaning that you can follow it up with a super attack if you so desire, just like you would with the Flying Slide Power Bomb. 16's final special attack is the Hell Heat, where 16 shoots a blast towards the ground either straight down or diagonally. If you want to shoot it straight down, you can do it with quarter circle backwards and the special button. If you want to shoot it diagonally, use quarter circle forwards and the special button. As you can see, this ability does not have a lot of range, meaning it's meant to be used up close and preferably in the air, but it is definitely not one of 16's best abilities. Moving on to his super attacks, 16 has 3 supers, a level 1 super and 2 level 3 supers. His level 1 is the Hell Flash, executed with quarter circle forward and the right bumper or trigger. 16 shoots his cannon arm down at an angle, so it's not a great super to use from across the screen. In fact, all of his supers are meant to be used up close, and the best way to do it is usually at the end of a combo, which frequently ends up being at the end of one of the power bombs. And in that situation, Hell Flash works perfectly. His first level 3 is very similar but deals more damage. It's called the Hell Flash Full Power and is done with quarter circle backwards and the right bumper. The activation for the super is very different. It starts with a grab before the Ki Blast, so the timing for linking this into a combo is slightly more tricky than the level 1, but 16's abilities are really easy to chain together, so if you're following a power bomb, you should have no problem unleashing a level 3 when you need to. And his final super attack is also a level 3 and is something very, very special. It's called the Final Power That Shouldn't Be Used, and it's a self-destruct ability that kills the enemy no matter how much health he has left. 16 will be left with a single point of HP, but the health he previously had turns into blue health, meaning you can recover it by swapping 16 out into the assist position or by using Sparking Blast. And if you do choose to use Sparking Blast, the health regeneration is incredibly high in this specific situation. Even if your whole team is alive, the health regeneration after this level 3 super is just insane. As you activate it, Android 16 will have a big animation, and this can't be interrupted by most attacks. You can't block this super, you can't dodge it by dashing backwards, so it's very easy to panic when you see it. But it's actually very easy to dodge this attack. All you have to do is simply jump. And since the attack takes a long time to be activated, that will make this very hard to land on more experienced players. There are some other ways to dodge this level 3 super, like a teleport for instance, or even some super attacks that teleport your character somewhere else, but other than that, 16 super will usually take priority. As far as auto combos go, 16 has 2 of them. This is what happens when you mash the light attack button. And this is what happens when you mash the medium attack button. Once again, the second combo ends in a super, so you'll spend 1 bar of meter. And now that we know 16's abilities, let's talk about how to use them. 16's biggest strength is arguably his animation priority on pretty much everything he does. Many of his special moves go through even level 3 supers, making them incredibly useful to counter enemies in pretty much any situation. The fact that he can grapple an enemy both on the ground and in the air and then follow up with a super or an assist swap means you'll constantly be punishing your opponent for anything they do. And this applies some huge pressure on your opponent, because you keep countering them, they become lost, they don't know what to do, and if they get to that point, then you've already won the fight. 16 can just overpower anything they throw at you with any of his moves. And you don't even need to go as far as his special moves. His heavy attack on its own, for instance, is incredibly strong. Most characters can counter a super dash with a well-timed heavy attack, but with Android 16 that's even easier because the animation priority is longer and 16 actually jumps forward while doing this attack, meaning it's super easy to catch your opponent. What's more is that while you're in the air, the heavy attack also causes the enemy to wall bounce, while most characters' heavy attack in the air just knock the enemy back into the ground. And that's amazing because it allows 16 to follow up on air combos without spending any bars of meter in ways that most characters cannot. The biggest downside to playing Android 16 is the fact that he doesn't have a lot of zoning options. For him to be efficient, he needs to be either at close range or spending meter on the EX version of his moves to counter an opponent from a distance, and that is not an easy thing to do. So 16 is probably gonna struggle against strong zoning characters because you can't get in close and there's not much you can do from a distance. 16 is all about the hugs, and the hugs happen when you're close to your opponent and not all the way across the screen. Once you do hug your opponent though, chances are your combo will end with one of the power bombs, which can be followed by either one of the Hell Flash supers. The level 1 or the level 3 both work fine here, it's just a matter of how much you have and how much you want to spend. 16 is a menacing powerhouse with a very specific weakness that not every player knows how to take advantage of, making him extremely powerful and very fun to play. Thank you for watching this character profile for Android 16. He is currently my strongest character without a shadow of a doubt, and I was happy to see some of you requesting this character in one of our previous videos. Next week we're gonna do Android 18, but the week after that we'll return to your requests, and I'll be counting whatever you guys ask in this video as well, so make sure you let me know in the comments down below which character you'd like to see. For last week's episode, the Vegeta profile, click the video up there, and if you're in the mood for something else, there's also the video at the bottom. But as always, thank you very much for watching. My name's Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye.